Good morning, good evening, wherever where you've been listening to on YouTube land out there. Well, I'm doing a live stream today because I had a very interesting day today. Wow, it started out with somebody being intoxicated, had a dispute with her boyfriend, and I ended up mediating, and then did mediation, got it to end, of course, and wow. Well, then I say, I stepped down to the office, which I did first floor of this building. I said hi to the landlord, missed the landlord a Merry Christmas, went out the side door of the building, come around, lo and behold, this 75-year-old lady on the first floor apartment had totally collapsed on the sidewalk and broke her freaking arm, her shoulder, has a real bad shoulder injury. It was horrible, with a lot of awful pain. And I looked at her and I said, "Are you gonna go?" Ah, I said, I looked at her and I said, "I have nope. I really can't. I do not want to try a case that really got some internal injuries." I said, "I gotta do. If I don't do it, nobody else will." So what I do? Well, I got on a phone called 911, got the Hamilton EMS and that here. They came, the emergency paramedic from the Hamilton, and then they talked to her. Then they assessed her and found that she had, may have a fracture there and may possibly and put a call again if a collar. She'd so much pain they couldn't do it once she lied down. So, you know what I did? So there's something I did. Well, yeah, they do need all kinds of other things. So needed this, backboard and everything else there. So I handed them the call. I handed I basically handed them what they asked for from the kits. I did. They even had and they had a backboard sitting. And even asked for a neck brace. I grabbed that, handed it to them, and assisted them in every way possible. With it, I thought joy that I'm doing this, but also too, I'm thinking, this lady gonna get to the hospital. I'm gonna make sure that this lady survives her trip in the ambulance. Or 76-year-old female, 70 plus woman, fractures don't heal too well. That's pretty common knowledge to me. I know. So I believe they rushed her, got her up on a stretcher, ran a stretcher to the ambulance. Hmm. I know what they did. I went to the ambulance. I opened the door to the back of the ambulance, and they opened the other door, and they looked at me and said, they said, "You don't have to do all that." No, no, I'm just trying to be a good assistant to making sure she gets there comfort, and any little thing I do here will accelerate her recovery in the hospital. She will appreciate it in the end. I mean, accelerate her recovery from this injury and this fall. I said, getting her to the hospital, most important thing, I want to make sure she got it. Well, I load her and they loaded her in the back of the ambulance. Well, the ambulance, drivers, after that, they turned the ambulance around, and then what they did was they rushed out to the hospital, to rush her off to rush her downtown St. Joe's. Now she's finally back home. She said, "Thank you so much," because honestly, I have to not really that much. Something I had to. It's something that I had to react on. Something that needed done. It had to be done now. I could not wait. I was late for my turkey dinner at Willow, but later on in the day, I ended up, coming back to the front door there at Mission Services with a wheelchair ramp. And the lady up in the wheelchair got up the ramp, and the door was, having an issue on getting through the door. So I ended up lifting, getting her up, get her over, and then her chair got caught on. the ramp on the little plate on the door. So I got her over that plate and I pushed her inside. I got her inside and I pushed her inside to where into the space, and then I left her there. With another interesting thing happened too today, so I helped there in two ways. One, I helped an old lady who had a fall, and it's outside my building here. And two, that I felt grateful. I just felt like maybe this is a blessing from God. It was a blessing for the man upstairs, and I believe that everything I did. Well, I'm going to give you an update on a live stream I did previously. While live stream on CFU did very, very, very well. It's culminated of over 1,000 views, 20,000, 6,000, 9,000. And on top of that, the view said, I will desperately listen to your show on the new year. And they said, and on top of this, one of the comments I read on the channel said, was from Sheriff Bob Fletcher and ran live on patrol. He commented saying that with your broadcast, I said, you may help reduce drunk driving in Ramsey County on Christmas Eve because of your little broadcast, and I'm going to encourage, yeah. So that interested complimented me that it was a good broadcast. And that was from Bob Fletcher, head of Ramsey County, Sheriff Fletcher, who's the head sheriff at Ramsey County. And he's a top man there and runs the whole sheriff office there. With elected sheriffs in Ramsey County by the people there. Good people, I say. Yeah, but you know the story. Same old thing. And I watched the show live on patrol. He was he was so happy commenting on this. And he said, you make the day. And he said, you can't put it on YouTube live, but he said you can use this about drinking and driving as a good deterrent towards not to drink and drive. Anyway, well, that was great. And a couple good comments I got. I got a freaking even comment. Actually, funny that another comment came from the New York governor's office. Well, came from the top of it, coming up to from Washington D.C., saying your live YouTube broadcast from that show had brought us an idea for good legislation to prevent people from drinking and driving. And it got comments from all over Ontario saying the same thing about that. And they said, your show, Peacemakers, have brought people to realize drinking and driving is not welcome. And that's true. So I can believe the response I got back. And as a matter of fact, I think my audience to listen on through airwave on the internet had just skyrocketed by 1,000 new people. Matter of fact, I received an email from the program director saying this too on this, Tommy. I can't believe you actually did. You have actually got over 30,000 listeners across the U.S., including some pretty big heads of government in the United States. I can't believe it. I far away a couple of comments from the United Kingdom. One came from King George saying, wow, you really know what you're talking about. Of course, I know. And also King George said something, you really know what you're talking about. That's great. And also mentioned on it saying that, you know what? And I replied back to him saying, you know what? I'm glad you're a king. It needs somebody on the throne. England can't run without a king or a queen. I reply back at me and say, thank you very much for a wonderful comment there. Oh, yeah. So then I get a couple letters coming out from other parts of the world where I don't really hear much about. This video has distracted, had encouraged people that my live stream video encouraged a lot of people to not to drink and drive at home, take a taxi, public transit. Let's see let's see if by end of season, let's see a tally's gonna be. If a tally's down low, I knew the video made it, knew doing that made it. Well, it did. It's made a lot of difference. But also even so, to me, one thing about drinking and driving. It's not a thing to do. And it might have put a dent too. So it came down. And plus, you know what? I get a comment from YouTube, turned around, and they said to me on the internet this morning how much response to this live stream that I did that day. And they said that I was going to receive a YouTube, platinum award plaque. So all that. So what I did is I had to go online, click with mouse, that, click on the line and got it, and I submitted. And he said my plaque will come to me on January the 2nd. So I get the YouTube bronze platinum plaque. YouTube reward for this, which is so interesting to get. And then later on, and then they said, then I got email today, said we upgraded you to a YouTube Gold Award. Whoa. Oh, whoa. So I'm getting a YouTube reward in the new year for what I just put on air. That, my mind must be doing very well for that. But I say thank you, all my loyal viewers out there, for your patronage and viewing my live stream. Those people are wonderful, and they are beautiful. Those people are wonderful viewers who really appreciate it. And I hope that my broadcast live I did, hope that encouraged people not to drink and drive. So now I'm going to have to button out of this. I'm going to end my live stream here saying this. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching my video. And if you want to do a nice favor in support of my channel here, why don't you swing down, hit the like button on here and tell you and comment how much do you like my video, and think about you and think about how you're going to comment on this video. Because I say congratulations. I think I'm really doing my live stream making an impact here. I know my show had made impact over years, but doing that on the show, it just impacted a lot. Got a lot of response from that video. I couldn't believe the response we got. Enough that it caught the attention of YouTube, enough that YouTube decided to send me the Gold Award over Platinum, all because of that. And I said, thank you. I'm really happy for it, and I really enjoyed it, doing live stream. And I'm going to keep on doing this too. The next live stream will be happening in London, Ontario at the Airbnb. But I have to come on this one today because of the good things that happened to me. And I'm going to say, when I put Jesus in the center, when I was to put Jesus Christ like in the center, I put Jesus in the center like this, put Jesus in the center like that, boom. You know what? Good thing come. And I say amen and thank you for listening to this video. Have a productive, nice Christmas and be safe. Don't drink and drive. Take a taxi, public transit.